Now let's bring in Senator Cory Booker from Iowa this morning. Senator, I heard you listening to Nate Silver right there. You also had some analysis this week of Senator Harris dropping out. You said the fact that she had to drop out shows that something about the system is not fair. Unpack that for me a little bit. She started out with a bang, had 20,000 people at her first rally, raised an awful lot of money early on, performed pretty well in the early debates, and only fell back when she stumbled in the campaign. So what is it about the system that caused her campaign to fail?
Well, let's compare two candidates. John Kerry polling like her at 4%. John Kerry pulled out all of his other campaign places, folded it all into Iowa, just like Kamala Harris. John Kerry had problems in his campaign. I think he fired staff, just like people reported there were turmoil in Kamala Harris's campaign. But John Kerry made it to Iowa because he loaned himself $5 million. Kamala Harris cannot loan herself $5 million. And so the Democratic Party, which makes a right critique that we should be stopping the influence of big money in politics. That Kamala Harris stopped her campaign because of the campaign finance rules and the fact that she couldn't do what we see billionaires doing in this race, which is flooding ads to jack up their poll numbers and get in. So there were a lot of people hurt this week, including members of my family and friends who were supporting me, who just saw this incredibly talented African-American woman who has done things at broken glass ceilings at every point of her career. And now somehow the Iowa voters can't make the decision. I'll remind you, John Kerry. Let me just remind you, John Kerry polling at 4%, goes back, comes into Iowa, and finishes #1 in the Iowa caucus.
Right, but let me push back on that a little bit. Joe Biden's not a wealthy man. Pete Buttigieg is not wealthy. Bernie Sanders is not that wealthy. Senator Warren is not that wealthy. They're all staying in and doing better. So that doesn't explain it. And the billionaires in the race, the billionaires competing in Iowa, Tom Steyer, is pretty far back right now. That's not really determining what's happening in Iowa right now.
But George, it's not just billionaires. It's the fact that Iowa voters should have the right to choose. And that's the issue, because Iowa belies, with a lot of respect for Nate Silver, Iowa belies polls in just about every time. There has never in the Democratic Party been someone who is a front runner at this point that's ever gone on to the White House. Bill Clinton, Jimmy Carter, Barack Obama around this time was about 20 points behind Hillary Clinton. But Iowa voters, where you have to come out here and actually meet folks, you see people who are polling at low numbers end up finishing first. It wasn't just John Kerry that year. John Edwards was polling at 2% and #7, and he finished #2 in Iowa. So I'm just at a point, at this point in the campaign, let Iowa voters decide. It goes to the same issue with the debate stage right now. You know, we're running a campaign here. We're in Iowa, New Hampshire. We're in the top in endorsements. We have literally one of the top in net favorabilities in the race. We're called by local media here in Iowa as one of the top field organizations. And you've had press people coming out in Iowa and saying, this is ridiculous. If the pollsters call you, choose Cory Booker because he should be on that debate stage. So we've been excited. You know, since the last debate, we've been experiencing our biggest surge in online donations. We have tons of people coming out just yesterday. More elected officials in this state are endorsing my campaign and are frustrated that we are putting artificial barriers, which often can be overcome by people with money, determining who Iowa gets to choose from. Something's wrong with the system.
What's your strategy then going forward? It looks like, and unless you get 4 polls in the next 4 days, it looks like you're not going to make the next debate stage either. Can you go all in on Iowa? Just go camp there for the next several weeks? And does the fact that you have to serve as a likely juror in the Senate trial of President Trump make that strategy almost impossible for you?
No, look, this country is a testimony to the constant achievement of the impossible. So we're doing like a lot of candidates have done in the past that were discounted by national media and press. We're running our campaign, and we're having a great result. And I've been so grateful to the American people because folks are going to CoryBooker.com and making contributions to our campaign, helping us to overcome a lot of these artificial barriers. So this has been one of the best trips that Iowa have had. Our crowds are getting so big, we're having overflow rooms. And so we're going to keep running our campaign. And as far as being a United States Senator, I take my oath very seriously, even if the president's going to violate his. I'm going to be in the Senate and do my job and trust that here in Iowa, we're going to continue to build on this momentum we're feeling right now. And I'm really grateful that at this moment in our campaign, we're breaking records in our campaign because Americans are saying your voice is important in this race, and we're going to do everything we can to keep you there because our online small dollar contributions are going up, and I hope that Americans will continue to support us in this last sprint to Iowa.
In that role in the Senate, you'll be voting on witnesses. Do you think Rudy Giuliani, especially in the wake of his trip to Ukraine this week, should appear before the Senate? And what was your reaction to the president saying that he expects Rudy Giuliani to send a report on that trip to the Attorney General?
Look, this is just a disappointing chapter in American history that a president's private lawyer should also be engaging in, with the president's consent, in foreign policy interference. At the end of the day, we are one nation and we have real threats. And Russia, we know, I read the intelligence reports, is a real threat to our country. And what's going on right now is just unacceptable to anybody who's going to be a fair observer of fact. And the fact that we can't get to the truth of this matter because Giuliani is not willing to testify and the President of the United States is holding back witnesses that could give the American people insights into the true breadth and depth of this corruption is just should be frustrating to everyone.
Finally, let me ask you the question I asked our other members earlier. In the wake of this shooting in Pensacola on Friday, what should be done with the United States' relationship with Saudi Arabia? How should it be reviewed?
Reviewed? I mean, this is a relationship we have that's unacceptable, from our military planes refueling their military planes to drop American-made bombs on Yemen when we've given no authorization for the use of military force and the tragedies it's causing with tens of thousands of children dying, to what was mentioned earlier in your show, the murder of the outrageous killing of Khashoggi. This is a relationship that has serious problems. And the fact that this president seems in a very transactional way doubling down on the relationship and telling us it's because of just financial interest is unacceptable. America's best when we lead with our values in a resolute manner. And this is a relationship that needs more than just an examination. In the Senate, we came together in a bipartisan way to rebuke some of the things we've been doing with the Saudis, like the engagement in Yemen. It's unacceptable. And as President of the United States, I will change it. We will lead with our values again.
Senator Booker, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.